There is a question that I'm usually asked every time that I'm helping my clients to choose their interior finishes. And the question is, Aline, what kind of flooring should I choose for my home? So today on this video, I'm gonna be talking about the most common flooring material we would use in a residential space. Hi guys, my name is Aline. I'm the owner and the lead designer at Sosa's Design, and on this channel we talk about architecture, interior design, construction and home renovation. So if you think that interests you, please consider subscribing. Okay, so let's talk about the most common flooring material we would use in a residential space. So I have here 4 types of flooring that are very common on a residential space. I'm gonna try to show the difference between them and some of the pros and cons of each of them. So let's start with vinyl plank. Vinyl plank is getting very popular. I have here some samples for you to see. The good thing about vinyl plank is that it's a product that it's 100% synthetic. Because of that, it is very durable. It's not porous. It will resist water greatly compared to the other options that we have. Very resistant to scratches, dents, just because it's not a natural product. And they come in different ways actually. So we have basically the cheapest one that you find, which is the peel and stick vinyl plank, which is this one here. So basically there is a paper at the back and you can just peel this off and then just lay that on your floor and it will just stick to it. Extremely simple to install. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be a handyman to install this. But the bad thing about it is the fact that the planks, there is no way for the planks to connect to each other. So, for example, on this option here, this would be the click vinyl plank. So on the click vinyl plank, they just click to each other and you know, they're connected, so they wouldn't spread apart. Now with this one, as time goes, there is a chance that they will just spread apart and you're gonna be able to see the gaps between the planks. So that would be, I think, a negative thing about it. But it's extremely durable as well. So it's not as hard as the other options, like you can easily bend, as you can see here. So it's very flexible, whereas the other options for vinyl planks, some are a little bit flexible, but not as much. Like you can see that I can bend a little bit. Like this one, it's extremely hard. I can't bend it at all. So if you have a basement, for example, and the concrete floor is very uneven and you don't want to spend a ton of time just making that floor a little bit more even, so this would be an acceptable option, I would say. And there's one that is flexible as well. Now these ones, you're probably gonna have to do some concrete work and make that floor a little bit more even so you can use them. Now, so we have the click options for vinyl plank, which are these ones here. Some of them are just simple like this. It's very thin. Let me see if I can just focus this so you can see it. Oh, my camera can't focus, guys. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so this is very thin. They're all very thin, but some of them actually come with an acoustic foam underneath it, like this one here. So it has a little bit of an acoustic foam here. And they are all very easy to install. Like I said, this one is pretty much like an adhesive. And these ones you can just click them together and yeah, and install them. So you don't have to be a handyman at all to do this. For this one, you might have to have some skills, but not too bad. So if you do a little bit of research online, you're gonna see a lot of comments saying that vinyl plank is waterproof. And I would say yes, in some circumstances, not in others. So, for example, if you have vinyl plank in your kitchen and there is a little bit of leaking water coming out of your fridge or your dishwasher, and you have a pool of water sitting on top of your planks, that would probably not cause any damage at all to the flooring, the vinyl plank flooring, because it's not porous, so it doesn't absorb the water the way hardwood would. But vinyl plank would not resist flooding. So if there is a big flooding, most likely you're gonna have to replace the floors. But it's a great choice. Very easy to clean as well. Very easy to clean. You don't have to use any special cleaner. Very easy to maintain, low maintenance, good option, and not expensive. But we are gonna talk about price range at the end of the video. Next one that I'm going to talk about is laminate flooring. Very popular as well, laminate flooring. So basically, I'll talk a little bit about the composition of laminate flooring. I would say that laminate flooring is partially synthetic, but I would consider it is still a natural product. And the reason behind that is the composition of laminate flooring. So basically, most laminate floorings, they would have 3 to 4 layers. So the first layer that would be on top would just be a print. So this is basically a print. It does look like wood, but it's not. It's a photo. They would just put that on top of the laminate. And some of them are very shiny, like this one, and you have the ones that look a little bit more like wood, like this one. This one has even the texture of wood, so you can see the grains and you can actually feel the grains. But they are both laminate and these are both photos. So this would be the first layer of laminate. And then the core, which is this part here, the core is actually made of wood composite. Basically wood dust and leftovers. They just mix that together with wax or resin. And so they bond together, and that the resin makes that mixture less porous than, of course, real wood like this. So that's why laminate tends to be a little bit more resistant to water than hardwood flooring. So the resin helps with water resistance, but it's still not waterproof. So it's still porous. It will absorb water. So if, like on my other example, if you have leaking in your kitchen and you have a little bit of water that goes into your laminate flooring, it will swell. Maybe not as quickly as with hardwood flooring, but it will swell. It is more resistant to dents and scratches just because the top of the laminate floor, we have this print and we have a thin layer, like a film, that would protect the laminate flooring. So that makes it a little bit more resistant to scratches and dents, but it's not 100% resistant. So vinyl plank would be way more durable in that sense than laminate flooring. And some laminates, they also come with an acoustic foam, like the vinyl plank here. Now I need to say this, laminate floors are not immune to scratches and dents, okay? So it will get damaged if you don't take care of it. But because we have this thin paper on top of it, and the core is made of pressed wood or dust mixed with resin, that makes the laminate flooring a little bit more resistant. So it's stronger than wood in that sense, but it's not 100% immune to that kind of damage. Now let's talk about engineered hardwood flooring, which became extremely popular in the last, I would say, 10 years or so. I think this is a really good option as well. So engineered hardwood flooring is also known as manufactured wood floors in some areas. And the reason behind this name is the fact that it's not 100% natural and it's man-made. There are some wood components, natural components on it, but it's not 100% natural as with hardwood flooring. So the main idea behind the production of engineered hardwood flooring when they started was to address some of the issues we find with hardwood flooring, especially water damage and the fact that it warps easily. Engineered hardwood flooring is also made with layers. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but the bottom layer and the core, they are made out of compressed wood. My son came here to give me a drawing. Engineered hardwood flooring, made with layers as well, the same way as laminate. You can probably see there is a little bit of a layer here at the bottom and the core here. On this one, the bottom layer is actually made out of unfinished hardwood. So that's the bottom layer. And then the core for this one is made out of pressed wood. Actually, I think it's made out of MDF as well, or HDF. Wood composite mixed together with resin. That's what makes engineered hardwood flooring a little bit more resistant to water than hardwood. So it's not always like that, guys. So this one here, we do have this sort of the same composition. So the hardwood on top, and it's a thicker layer than the other one. And then we have the MDF here for the core. And then we have another hardwood here at the back. Now, there is this option here, which is the layer of hardwood here on top. And then we have pressed plywood at the back. So the composition is quite different from one product to the other, but the idea is still the same. Now, it is a little bit more resistant to water than hardwood, not only because of the core here, which contains resin and it's less porous, but also because this top layer, it's usually sealed with a very tough waterproof sealer. So that is one of the reasons why it's more resistant to water, but it's not waterproof. So it will still swell and warp if exposed to water. Now, one negative thing about engineered hardwood flooring is the fact that it can't be repaired more than once. That's the bad thing, because if it gets damaged, you can either repair it once and that's it, or you would have to replace the piece or replace the entire area. Now, engineered hardwood flooring, it's a more sustainable option if you care about that. It's a green product in a sense compared to hardwood. Although the top layer is made out of real wood, and the wood that they use to do the top layer and hardwood flooring comes from slow growing trees. So trees that are gonna take a while for them to grow and be replaced. Although they do have this type of wood here on top, the core is actually made out of wood that comes from fast-growing trees. Plus the fact that this core is also made out of wood composite, wood leftover. So it's a little bit more sustainable than hardwood. Now the last one that we want to talk about is hardwood flooring. Dun, 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 dun. So the first thing we have to look at is actually how thick it is. So if you compare with the other options, I feel sorry for them because they're so thin. So this is engineered laminate. They actually come in different thickness. So you can find 8 millimeters, 10 millimeters, 12 millimeters, I think. I think this is 12 millimeters. So this is the thickest one, and it's still way thinner than hardwood. And of course, vinyl plank is extremely thin. I think the good thing about hardwood is the fact that it's wood. It's real wood throughout it. So it's actually a piece of wood that they just finish on top of it, and they just put a stain on top of it. There is no composite material here. It's real wood throughout. It is a premium product, not only because it's real wood, but also because the installation process it's not something that anyone can do it. The installation is a little bit more detailed. You don't only click them together. It's usually a tongue and groove type of click, so they just connect to each other like this, but you also have to nail them to the floor. So it takes a while compared to vinyl plank in general. Now, because it's a product that it's 100% natural, it's very porous, as you can imagine. So we can see some pores here. So it will absorb water. It's not durable in the sense that it doesn't resist scratches, dents, it will warp. So it's a product that it's a premium product because how it's made and how natural it is, but it's also not the best option if you have pets, if you have small kids, if you don't have the time to maintain it. Not as easy to clean as with vinyl plank, so you would need to use a special cleaner to clean your hardwood flooring. So these are things that you have to consider. Now, the other negative thing about hardwood flooring is the fact that with over time, it will fade if it's continuously exposed to sunlight. So the color might change because, again, it's a natural product. Now, one of the best things about hardwood flooring is the fact that it can be repaired. Hardwood flooring can be repaired. So even though you might have a bunch of scratches, some dents, you can just repair it. So basically they would just sand that off, clean the area, and then seal it and stain it, and that's it. It's not an easy and clean process. So your house will be full of dust. It's gonna be smelly because of all that sealer and all the stain that will come out of it. So it will be smelly. You might have to leave your house for a few days. So hardwood flooring can last a lifetime. So if you do some research online, it can last anything between 30 to 100 years. So you will eventually have to repair and refinish your hardwood flooring if you want to keep this for as long as possible. Now, there are many types of woods that they use to make hardwood flooring. The most common ones would be oak. So this would be oak. So this is oak as well. So the grains are very, I would say, very visible. Not as much on this one just because of the color, but on the darker one it's very visible compared to maple, for example. So this is maple, which is very common as well as a hardwood material. So maple is, the grains are not as visible. Look at this one, maple as well. So if you don't like the grain, I wouldn't recommend going with oak. In this case, maple would be a good option. Here in Canada, we do have acacia that it's used quite a bit. This one here. Oh, hickory. Hickory is very popular as well. So this is hickory. Okay, so price. Hardwood is going to be the most expensive one, for sure. Not only because it's a premium product, it's 100% natural, but also because the installation process is not something that anyone can do it. It takes longer to lay these pieces on the floor and install them. So hardwood flooring would be the most expensive one. Second would be engineered hardwood flooring. Again, because we still have the natural wood look, natural wood material, but it's more resistant and more durable. So it would come second on price. And then we have laminate flooring and vinyl plank. In some cases, we're gonna have a tie here. So depending on the vinyl plank that you go with, they're going to be more expensive than laminate flooring. But we can still find very affordable vinyl plank options out there, like $3 a square foot. And you can also find very cheap peel and stick vinyl plank options out there. So some of them are even under $2 a square foot. Okay guys, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions about these products and their performances, please leave your comment below, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye!